This video is brought to you by Game Maker, and if you've ever wanted to get into game development, Game Maker does this really crazy thing where it's free, just start making, and only pay when you want to release your game to the world commercially.
It's fast, it's user-friendly, and there's easy-to-follow tutorials, plus a dedicated community to help answer even my questions. How make man jump? Game Maker is a 2D game engine that's helped bring some of yours and my favorite recent experiences to life, like UFO 50, Chicory, Anton Blast, and of course, Yahtzee's own Starstruck Vagabond.
Ooh, we talking about Game Maker? I love that program, it's so easy to use. As well as Starstruck Vagabond, I also used it to make all 12 projects in my 12 games in 12 months Dev Diary challenge. And I couldn't believe how much sex I got out of that. None. I got none at all. Which I couldn't believe.
So what are you waiting for? Head on over to the Game Maker link in the description and start cracking away today, because we want to play your game.
Yeah, looking through this list, I'm seeing one of you made Armpit Fart Tycoon, and I've got several questions for you.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Firelink podcast, episode number 90. Okay, see, we're just 10 episodes away from 100 episodes of this podcast already.
What is that, 10 weeks?
Does that feel real to you? Because it doesn't feel real to me that we've done almost 100 episodes of this already.
Yeah, what? That something's off. We need to do a recount.
Yeah. But hello, everybody, and welcome in. We've got a great show for you today. Marty is not here. He's out exploring Japan. I think he got really inspired by both Assassin's Creed Shadows and Ghost of Yotei, so he decided just to take a trip out there to see if he can become a master ninja as well. I don't know how it's going for him, but we'll find out when he gets back. Hopefully it doesn't break any bones.
With his asthma.
Yeah, we've got a great show. We got
for him to be a ninja. Like,
yeah, you know what? I'm kind of
breathing as they sneak up on you.
Oh yeah, that's true. He does breathe a lot. He'd be like coming up to stab you and be like,
yeah, like just no stealth whatsoever.
But yeah, you know what? Hopefully he gets home because airlines are starting to cut flights because of the government shutdown. So that's not a good time for him to be there.
There was a little of that on the way back from Milwaukee. Which I guess is a great segue.
Yeah, to your time working on Adventures Nigh. One thing we didn't put on our sheet or in the Firelink write-in over on Patreon, where you can write into the podcast for $5 a month and get your questions and comments and all that answered and read, is GTA 6 got delayed again for an entire year.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah.
Yep. Not coming out till November now of 2026. It was originally scheduled for May.
It was scheduled for May of 2026 already, right? And then they pushed it to the end of the year.
Yep.
So
eventually we'll get to play that game. I don't know if they said they want to delay it for more polish and stuff. I'm wondering if they delayed it to see the outcome of what's going to happen with this country and whether they need to change some stuff or not.
I mean, that's probably unlikely.
Yeah, I'm being very facetious about that. I don't think they're going to be changing anything that serious. I think it's just another round of polish and all that. Curious, they haven't talked about GTA Online at all and what they're going to do there. So who knows? But yeah, maybe selling the biggest game of the year in an economy that's not super strong right now is maybe not the best choice. Wait to sell it to when things are hopefully better. But yeah, not too many updates on that. Another game that also got delayed. I'm not sure if you saw this one, Casey. The Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra also got delayed to
I did not see
undetermined date. Yeah.
Did that have a date?
Did not have a date yet. They were saying early 2026, but has now been pushed back to whenever. They didn't really give a new timetable for it. So curious how that game is doing.
Yeah, at least it's not outright canceled like kind of everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But Yeah, I mean, as long as we know that something's still happening, that's better news than it could have been. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little worrisome.
We'll say the good news on that front is in our fantasy critic draft, Marty had both Marvel and Grand Theft Auto on his sheet, and he now is screwed because those games are no longer there. So all he has left is Call of Duty Black Ops 7, which I assume will review okay, but we'll see. It feels like there's not like any hype for it this year. Like I don't see
Yeah, I
anybody
agree.
talking about Call of Duty.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of noise about Call of Duty, but that could be our own
To
echo
its
chamber because
advantage. Yeah.
well, I mean, generally, I don't think maybe you're different, but I generally kind of don't like it gets filtered out in terms of just what I pay attention to. So maybe there is news and I'm just not paying attention to it. But so I don't know. Though I will admit, like
Uh,
the last trailer they showed did look way more interesting than like several Call of Duty trailers that I've seen in the past. And I did play 6 because it came to Game Pass. I didn't
yeah.
finish it, but I did play it, and I thought it was okay from what I did play.
And Angel Nicky asked, will he also get a repick or just take that loss? No, we already did our extra picks.
Mhm.
So then he's stuck with this. So that's the only game he has left on his chart. I only have Demon School left now because Karen got delayed into 2026 as well. So Demon School
Oh,
releases.
that also got delayed. That sucks for you.
Yeah, yeah. Demon School got I think releases on the 11th of November. So we'll
What
see.
do I have left actually?
The only thing you
2.
have left is Skate Story and
Oh,
Metroid
yeah, Skate
Prime
Story
4,
and Metroid Prime. Yeah.
which are very, very big question marks of whether those games are going to be really good or not. Because Marty
Yeah, like surprisingly
loved the
so, yeah.
demo. Marty loved the demo for Skate Story, but it's also maybe a very Marty game, and that that can go either way.
Yeah, there's no way to
sometimes.
know. There's no way to know.
So as of right now, the standings show Marty being in first place. So sorry, Call of Duty devs, I kind of need you to screw up a little bit, and I need Demon School to knock it out of the park so that I can take first place back and win nothing for it. So
We'll see.
it's a really tight race between Marty and I. Casey, you are projected to be third, but I have a bad feeling.
I have the highest possibility of additional points, though.
Yes,
So
I
that
have a bad feeling Metroid Prime 4 might sink you.
I hope not, because I do want that game to be good.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Nintendo games tend to score high, even if the quality is not great.
that's true.
Like,
people are very afraid of litigious Nintendo if you score their games wrong.
I don't know if that's what they're afraid of, but there is definitely a level of like Nintendo. I don't know this. I'm an Xbox fan, so this is always going to
Mhm.
sound like a crock of shit coming from me. But I feel like Sony and Nintendo get a lot of grace in terms of like review scores in general. Like I find a lot of
Yes.
their stuff, even when it's a bit derivative, but it's a bit samey, they still get a lot of grace in terms of like, oh, this was still a great fun experience, and it gets scored rather high. So I don't know. I think like a lackluster Metro Prime 4 is still going to be something that a lot of people want and are happy to get
I'm
in,
sure.
even if it's not, the best version of a Metro Prime that they could have given.
Well, for my own sake, I hope you're wrong. But games that are doing very well right now is Arc Raiders, and that's like our big main story for today. Is Arc Raiders from Embark Studios is a massive launch for the studio. On Steam alone, their concurrent player count keeps going up and not down. I think as word of mouth spreads on this game. So like the first weekend, I think it was like 256,000, and the second weekend was 300,000. You don't see that very often. You usually see a game peak and then kind of slowly, taper off and get its core community in. But more and more people seem to be picking up Arc Raiders, and I'm actually surprised at like how many people, even in the games media, that I've seen talking about the game. So for a quick rundown on what Arc Raiders is, it's a extraction shooter. Oh, sorry, 354,000 is where it ended up last weekend. Wow. Arc Raiders is an extraction shooter from Embark Studios. You kind of get dropped into a world, you go collect loot, and you can either go after other people in the world or team up with them to take down these big, massive robot enemies that are really hard to kill. And the community on this one, like a lot of extraction games can get kind of mean and toxic. The big story
Yeah, they're
about
very
this one
competitive,
is
right?
like, they can be, yeah. I mean, you want to extract with the best loot that you can, but um, the community around this game is actually like really focused on being cooperative together. I think just due to the how challenging the robots are to kill in this game. And so like a lot of the community stories and a lot of the media reporting on this is just, people are I guess changing the meta of extraction in our creators, or where they want to work together. And I've put a few hours into it, and I've seen it myself, like in the game. Like uh, I felt really bad today. I played around. I've been playing solo, and I walked into a room, and a dude was looting, and I immediately killed him, and he was very sad about it. And I'm like, "Oh, dude, I'm so sorry."
I gotta
was like, "How
say,
do?"
as soon as because I have not been following the Arc Raider stuff, but I started looking into it knowing that it was going to be the topic tonight, and that was one of the first things I
Mhm.
heard was that this it's building this sort of like positive community
Yeah.
that's like giving people like hope in like mankind, because like all multiplayer lobbies kind of tend to be on the toxic side. But I knew that Nick wouldn't follow that protocol. I somehow knew that Nick would be the exception to this
Well,
worldview, and
okay. To be fair, no,
proved it.
no. To be fair, I went in to multiple rounds being
Uh-huh.
friendly, and I got murdered. I'm like, okay, so this isn't the actual meta. Everybody's here to murder me, and then I go in, I murder a guy, and he immediately like is like, dude, like, come on, man, I was just looting, and I'm like, no, like you were gonna be friendly. How do I get you up? He's like, oh, you need you need this tool. I was like, no, I don't have one. He's like, it's okay, dude. You can have my loot. And I'm like, oh my God, that's the nicest thing that anybody's ever done for me.
That's funny. That's pretty funny. Because like I haven't really seen anything that like that different about this. Like
Mhm.
like aesthetically, like it seems very I don't want to say bland, but generic also feels too harsh because it's very polished looking. But yeah, it doesn't stand out with just his base art style. Like robots, I'm a fan of like sci-fi enemies and whatnot versus like creatures and monsters or whatever. But
Mhm.
yeah, just nothing about it seems to stand out more so than like every other extraction shooter that has released over the past several years and that have kind of fallen flat. But this one has
Um,
beaten the odds. Is it mainly because of
yeah,
like that meta of positivity, or is there
no,
anything
I
else that you could kind
think
of point at?
no, I think a lot of the extraction genre has been targeted so much at the hardcore community. Like
Hmm.
like the menus and everything is just a lot. Like you get into Escape from Tarkov and all the different vendors. Like there's not like really a learning curve that the developers give you in a lot of these games. You get thrown in, understand the general idea of what you need to do, go in, get loot, get out. But they make it really punishing at the front of the game, where
Hmm.
it's kind of hard to break in without just kind of throwing yourself at the wall and hoping you get in. Uh, this game has like a much more streamlined entry into it, where they give you specific missions to keep unlocking better and better loot. There's you get XP for kind of everything you do in the world, and you level up, and there's a skill tree so that you can keep upgrading your character, and you don't lose your character. It's constant progression. So that makes a big difference too. So you're not wasting your time going in looting. Even if you die, you're still coming out and leveling up, and you're able to keep unlocking new perks and everything. So there's that big difference there. And then the other difference too is like I think it is like the game does push you to work together more than fight, because like the robots are tough. Like they are tough to take
Hmm.
down, and they're really fun to fight too. Like we were just talking yesterday in the Darksider stream about binary domain. And this
Yeah.
game actually reminds me a lot of that, because like when you shoot the robots, like you can shoot off their parts to weaken them. So like some of these drones,
Oh.
you'll be thinking like, oh, I should just shoot the face of the drone. It's like, no, shoot off the rotators and all that to knock them down onto the ground and finish them off. Uh, and then I've only worked on the first map so far because I'm too afraid to go to the second map. But like the leapers, like I'm sure you've seen the clips of like these like spider looking things coming after you, and they're like
Sure,
these
like
leaper
they like
robots
clamp
that
onto the.
and they can jump at you from a really long way away, and people scream every time you see them. So a lot of emergent moments in this game that just I don't think a lot of other extraction shooters have, because the AI is relatively dumb in a lot of them. When I think of Escape from Tarkov, like you're fighting, either players or just other, AI humans, and they're not, I don't know, they're not exactly, engaging to fight, just aside from getting the loot out of them. So
Okay, so the challenge of the environment seems to be pushing people towards cooperation in a way that I guess some of these other ones aren't.
mhm. Yeah,
That makes sense.
absolutely. Yeah, it's I'm trying to think of like a good comparison, and I really can't think of any. Like this does feel on paper, it doesn't look fresh and new, but when you play it, it does.
And that first step is always super difficult. But like again, like it seems like word of mouth seemed to have done this game like a whole load of justice.
Hmm.
I want to like the most I have heard about it because it has been limited for, on my timeline at least. But the most I have heard about it are streamers, like
Yeah,
rather popular streamers have picked it up and like they're making clips, and I'm seeing like legitimately funny situations of like emergent gameplay of like dudes like trying to crawl into a safe room and like it looked like Helldivers, but it wasn't. Like that was my confusion. But the
yeah,
fact that this is a PvP situation, but you're still getting the level of cooperation and spectacle as something like Helldivers, which is strictly co-op, that is impressive. Like that's kind of unique.
yeah, yeah. And it's just like it. I want to do a video essay on it, but I get why extraction shooters are so popular right now from playing this game just a little bit that I have, because like those there it's just constant tension. Like you don't, I run into a building and I hear people running above me, and I'm immediately on chat like, hey, friendly, friendly, friendly. And then you show up, you kind of feel each other out, like, are you gonna shoot or you're not?
Mhm.
And then you're like, oh, okay, we'll go loot, we'll be fine, we'll team up, whatever. But the entire time you're thinking like, are they gonna betray me? What if I find a really good piece of loot and they really want it? Like, are you gonna shoot me in the back? I don't know. And when you come out of it and you're all friends, it's like, okay, let's add each other and we'll play each other later. Just random people on the internet. Um,
Like this has been a thing forever, but
yeah.
just it never goes the way it never goes that way, right? Like I want to like
Hmm.
early the Division had the dark zone, and it's exactly that. Where like you're in there are tough
Yeah.
enemies, there's loot to be found, and you can be friendly to other agents that you find or not. They can betray you, they can go rogue, blah blah. And it was
Yeah.
just never like that. Like I can't remember a single instance in all the hours I played of Division where like the other people ended up being friendly. It was
Yeah.
always
I think
just beef on site.
I think the big difference in this is like so like on the first map, I think it's called like the Mother or whatever, and it's a giant like raid type boss that you cannot. I mean, maybe somebody will take it out on their own, but you really probably can't. Uh,
Mm.
and so like you kind of are forced to team up with people to take it down, and then you kind of decide, once you take it down and get the loot, like what do you do from there? But um, it's
So
those
it's
type
like
of emergent moments that keep bringing people back.
it's
Another,
reinforcing that sense of camaraderie like from the jump.
yeah, yeah. And there's like another example of like an emergent moment I had just today, playing was I after I did a few rounds of solo play, I went into a squad play and I got put up with three random guys, and nobody talked and all that, and I thought we were just gonna go loot and everything. And the first squad that we came across, they immediately tried to fight, and my two teammates got taken out, and I like ran away because I'm like, I don't have enough loot to fight. I don't want any part of this. And so while my two teammates are on the ground getting executed, I'm like standing in front of them and I'm like, hey, I'm good, I don't want to fight, I don't want to fight. And one of the teammates that was on my team, for the first time, gets on the mic and he's like, no, you took down the wrong guy, it was him shooting at us. And I was like, no, it wasn't me. So they believed me and they killed him. And then the guy was like, you know what, seem pretty cool. He drops me like a epic item that was for like $7,000. And he's like, you know what? Have a good day, man. I was like, fuck yeah. I looked at the guy and go like, fuck you. Try to sell me out. It was really funny. So yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
it's,
like a good time.
Yeah, I love those types of moments in multiplayer games. Like, I love I think I've talked about it before, like Hell Let Loose has a really, I think, really friendly and positive community. Like if you tell people in that game on voice chat that you don't know how to play the game, they will teach you how to play the game and they'll be really cool about it. And there are people that really get into that game and have a good time with it and role play a drill sergeant and start yelling at you and ordering you around and all that. That shit's like really memorable in multiplayer games. And that's the type of multiplayer games I look forward to playing these days over just, running the 3 lanes of a Call of Duty map and scoring, I guess. Which is why Battlefield 6, being good is so refreshing and exciting because like you get those moments again with your friends. So yeah, but yeah, I guess the big thing is like I'm just really surprised that like even on our comments on YouTube, like Marty's Game of the Year video, how many people were on there were saying Arc Raiders should be up for like a Game of the Year award, and I've seen a lot of press saying the same thing about it. I'm like, that's kind of shocking to see for a game that
Wow.
I felt like didn't have a lot of hype behind it for a long time. Like I think people were really interested in it, but I remember like the early alphas weren't received super well, and I don't really think it was until like a month or so ago that they ran their big server slam, and that's where like the game finally clicked for people. And I know there's interviews out there too where Embark was pretty candid about like, yeah, it was hard to find the fun in this game when they were developing it. And I know No Clip, they're kind of like Our Lost and Found. They have like a paid documentary kind of side that they do. He's got a whole development series coming out on the development of Arc Raiders, and I'm really fascinated. I really want to watch that because I want to see how this game's shaped up. Because the original reveal, it wasn't an extraction game. It was just PvE. So it's really changed over time.
Oh man, that story must be fascinating because to initially have the plan for it to be PvE, to then shift to extraction and then just watch every other extraction game get announced, released,
Yeah.
or canceled even before release or canceled after release, like that had to be scary.
Yeah.
But then to have
this
the
is
confidence in this to, keep pushing forward, get it out, and for it to be a success despite all that, like there's no denying like the level of stink around the extraction shooter. Like a new extraction shooter just doesn't seem like the best idea right now. So the fact that they still push forward to put it through, like we would in all honesty, like if we got word of this coming from any other studio, would be like, this is probably not the best idea. This is a bad idea in a lot of cases. But then here they are kind of proving that wrong. So does that kind of fly in the face of this idea that like the public is tired of extraction shooters? Like, is it just that you need to make a good one to stand through to like stand out? Or is this again like one of these sort of flash in the pan situations?
We've kind of talked about this before. I just don't think, that's why I'm really interested in Marathon, because I don't think an extraction shooter has really hit the casual market yet. I think most of them are really hardcore, and this feels like the first one that's much more playable for, somebody that doesn't live and breathe Escape from Tarkov. The extraction loop is a lot of fun. It's just I think there's so much stuff around a lot of these games that's hard to break into. Like I said, like the UI for Escape from the UI for Escape from Tarkov is oppressive. Like I get stressed out just trying to sort through the menus in that game. And this I don't. Like this is a very streamlined. I go to the medic vendor to get the medic stuff. I go to the gun vendor to get the gun stuff. I can recycle my materials that I collect to craft my own stuff, and you upgrade your workbenches and stuff like that. So, I'm curious to see the longevity of the game, and as far as like a baseline for what they have, like they could take this in a lot of different directions and keep adding in new, big raid bosses and stuff like that, and keep it really fresh. They also did a good job with actually loading it with a lot of content. I think there's like 5 maps which most of these games launch with like 1 or 2 at best.
Sure,
Uh,
yeah.
so yeah, I forgot to add the Patreon questions, but I'll pull them. I know somebody in the Patreon asked, "What do we think this means for Marathon?" And
This is a great
let me
question.
pull that up. Yeah. Inverse Skies over on Patreon said the real question now is has Marathon missed the boat on cornering the mainstream extraction shooter market given Arc Raiders has been successful? I don't think so. I think if they get Marathon right, I think this just opened up a whole new market for the casual extraction shooter. To be honest, like I think people are going to be looking for another one of these in 4 months' time, 5 months' time. Uh, some people like I think Arc Raiders is going to have its core community, like every one of
Mhm.
these types of games does. But if I mean, like don't count Bungie out when their shooting mechanics are top of the line, and if they can make the encounters really fun in Destiny, then I mean Marathon, then I think it's got a good shot.
Yeah, like I'm really split on this because
Hmm.
again, like this genre has never appealed to me, and I'm someone who is a big shooter fan. Like I came from like shooters in like my core in my developmental days as a gamer, and like
Yeah,
because everything has kind of leaned into this area, I've pulled away from it over the years.
yeah, because you're not big
So
on battle royale either, are you?
yeah, like I never got into battle royale. That was probably like the biggest shift for me when I moved away from like regular PvP. And then extraction is like an evolution of battle royale. So like I always feel like an outsider to this. So the
Hmm.
idea that a version of these that is aimed at a more casual audience, which would then be me as a more casual shooter fan these days, I guess that could open up a big door. But if Arc Raiders beat them to the punch, to me that feels like it's even harder now because like every time you have one of these big successes, that's those people's game. Like that becomes the game, and then everything else is measured against it. So if they're not, leaps and bounds better to pull them away from it, then they're already satisfied with what they have. So like it's not like a
Yeah,
new audience looking to get sucked in. So it seems
yeah.
more worrisome to me than encouraging.
Uh, yeah. I mean, also, the marathon team could be playing Arc Raiders and learning from it too for their own games. So that's
Yeah.
a lot of these developers learn from each other, as we've seen with Battlefield 6's Red Sec, which literally the UI and everything looks like Call of Duty Warzone. uh, but I haven't. I've played a good amount of like Battlefield's battle royale mode, and I actually quite like it because like they get rid of a lot of the annoying stuff that I find in battle royales with like different levels of shields and all that. It's a pretty level playing field for everybody, which I much prefer my battle royales that way. But yeah, I don't know. I think I haven't like same as you. I haven't clicked into the extraction genre really yet, and like I've tried a lot of them. I just don't stick with them.
Mhm.
But this one I do like even playing solo. I quite enjoyed. So I think I'm gonna keep playing it and see if it hooks me. So far I enjoy the loop and like I enjoy that I can just extract and get out and like you kind of track your own progression in that way.
This is
Having
free to play, right?
no, this is a $40 premium game.
Oh,
That's what's so
really?
crazy about how well it's done.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's nuts. Yeah. Oh my God.
yeah,
350,000 players who paid $40
and that's just on Steam. Like this is on
just on
console
Steam.
too.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah, this game's been a major hit for them. Uh, so I think it's gonna have a long shelf life, and yeah, seeing a $40 premium extraction shooter selling that well, it, like shocked me. Like,
No, yeah, that is this whole time I thought it was free to play. That is legitimately surprising.
hmm yeah. So yeah, we'll see what the life is for this game, but it came out really polished, really fun, and I definitely want to continue playing it. And our Patreon community as well it's like surprisingly the comments were very positive about the game too. Didn't get a lot of write-ins this week, but um, Griffin Bale said over on Patreon said Arc Raiders has been really scratching the itch. Not as hardcore as Tarkov with the PvE tone as Helldivers when the bots come after you and hunt you down. Foz over on Patreon also said, as a non-extract fan, I've been really enjoying how easygoing Arc Raiders is. So
nice. So yeah, it definitely seems to
it's,
be hitting that exact market.
Yeah. Like I didn't think like anybody in our community was gonna say like, yeah, I'm playing Arc Raiders and liking it. So just seeing those few comments, and then no, I guess that's not true, because I saw on the Game of the Year thing like a lot of YouTube comments saying they were enjoying the game, which surprised me, because our channel just doesn't see a lot of people, commenting on and enjoying a lot of multiplayer games. I think we're most of us are older, and well, most of you are older. I'm only 30. And aren't as sweaty as you would like to be. Or always sweaty. I don't know what you do.
Enjoy multiplayer, okay? That's
Debatable.
a myth.
That's a debatable. So yeah, any final thoughts on Arc Raiders before we move on?
No, I will say all the talk has gotten me intrigued. Like I have just, this thing did not matter to me because it was an extraction shooter and because it does look rather generic, but all the talk has piqued my interest. And that's got to be the same for pretty much everybody else out in the world, and that's why it kind of keeps climbing. Like that word of mouth is really doing it a lot of good. So if there's anything to be taken from this game's success, is like, yeah, release a product that'll get people talking, and maybe that's how your game will be a success. I mean, much easier said than done, but that's kind of how it works. Because I think the same was true for Clair Obscur. Like when that dropped, people got their hands on it, and then they started talking it up, and then everyone wanted to try it too. So like it really does start from a very like a quality game experience, not a legacy of intellectual property, not hype, not battle passes, right? Like you have the core thing needs to be fun.
Oh yeah, speaking of battle passes, this has a very similar kind of unlock structure to Helldivers as well, with like they do their war bonds. This kind of has a very this has like it's premium stuff that you can buy, but it also has its unlock everything in game through like a war bond type system. So I really appreciate that as well, to give me things to work towards. But
Sweet.
yeah, moving on, kind of in the same vein, there's just been a lot of surprise hits lately. The Arc Raiders, this game Mega Bonk. I don't know if you've played that yet.
I've not played it, but I have seen the fanfare.
I unfortunately have started playing it, and I it's a very addicting. It's another Vampire Survivors like 3D, very on the nose game. Doesn't really do anything that different besides adding in the 3D environment and kind of like straight up 3D movement mechanics into it.
So
as far as I know,
automatically.
Yeah, you still attack automatically. It's a bullet hell type game. But I mean, yeah, like on the bullet heaven, yes.
You're the
on
hell
the screen
in those.
Yeah, on the screen. Like I've only gotten as far as unlocking the skeletons. I'm not going to talk too much about Mega Bunks. I haven't played a ton of it yet. I know Jay and Jesse Galena have been living this game, but like there's that. If I don't know if you saw in the trailer, there's a skeleton guy, and he's literally on a skateboard.
Oh yeah.
Yes, so it's a good time. The other game that's kind of blown up is RV There Yet. That's another one of those friend slap type games. But you're basically trying to take an RV and get it across bridges and stuff like that, and working together. Haven't played that one yet. I did put it on our list for potential games to try during our 2-year anniversary stream on November 15th, because it looks like a really good time. Ball Pit just announced today that they've sold 750,000 copies.
Wow.
And Dispatch, which I know you want to play, and I also want to play when it's done, and Marty's really been loving, has already sold over 1 million copies. That game had 150,000 concurrent players on Steam. That shocked the shit out of me. I don't know if I've ever seen a game in that style have that kind of player count on Steam. Like I didn't realize like there was that much hype behind the game.
Yeah, like what? Where'd that come from?
I don't know. Like I don't know word of mouth or what, but like
Critical Role is involved, so that's
right. Probably. I don't know if it's 150,000 help, but yeah, I think
sure, but that could definitely help get the word out.
Yeah, like I that genre of games in general is like, is it kind of on the out because like Supermassive, Telltale's mostly gone, and Supermassive does a lot of them, but they haven't been great. There's been some indie ones, and
Yeah.
those haven't really gone anywhere. So to see former Telltale guys just come and knock it out of the park again, it was kind of wild.
Like, this really just looked like a show I wanted to watch.
Hmm.
Like, the fact that it's a game is kind of secondary to me. Like, my interest in this is specifically because of like the animation and the vibe of the storytelling, and the fact that there are
Hmm.
like lots of voices that I recognize, actors and actresses that I know and like that's been pulling me. But also notice I'm reminded, I guess, as the video is playing, there's a bunch of like YouTubers and content creators on the cast as
Hmm.
well. So I think these might be the clues here. Like these different people who are involved in this have their own audiences, and maybe they're pulling people to this experience, which is itself probably pretty good. So that might have something to do with how they managed to get this to be such a big success with seemingly minimal advertising.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't say minimal advertising. They had, ads in the Game Awards and
Oh well,
some of the
yeah,
bigger
yeah.
showcases. But yeah, I just didn't feel like that many people were talking about it. Now everybody is. So yeah, I'm excited to jump into that. I know episodes 5 and 6 came out this week. So I'm gonna wait till it's wrapped up before I jump into it. But I definitely want to get there. But my question for you is like, what do you think's the driving force behind all these games just kind of knocking it out of the park sales wise? I think it's just a lot of them offering unique gameplay experiences. Like I feel like these days like people care a lot less about graphics because like we have kind of hit the peak of graphics, I think, and are just looking for really fun, different, unique games.
Yeah, but then on the same hand, Ghost of Yotei launched not that long ago, and that also sold pretty well, right? And
Hmm.
that's pretty much the other thing, like a big graphical showcase and full $70 release. Because what I wanted to say was these smaller games being at the quality that they are, they're easier purchases to justify because
Yeah.
they're less money, generally speaking. But I, this might be a little cynical. I think folks are sad. Like
I mean, that's fair.
I think like there is a rather palpable sense of dread in the economy, and like when people feel like they don't have control over several things, they will indulge in the things that give them comfort. And for many, that's games, it's entertainment. Like they'll go to the movies more often, they'll buy drinks and stuff, like they'll just spend money to escape. So
Mhm.
like yeah, going into this the end of this year with everything that's been going on, like maybe that's a possibility as to why even though everyone is strapped, like they're gonna spend the time, especially if they hear that, hey, this is a good experience. They're like, all right, well, let me treat myself because it's been a really hard several months.
Yeah, when I get like when I get stressed, I have a hard time kind of sitting down these days to like play a game that really needs my full attention. So I'm either playing rematch with my friends or
Mhm.
a battlefield. But yeah, most of the games I've been turning to are stuff like Peak or Bollocks Pit or something like that are just kind of turn my brain off and chill and like relax. Wouldn't say Arc Raiders is a relaxing game. I don't know if I'll play that when I'm really stressed out, but I don't know. Maybe I will.
I mean, just playing something, right? Like playing a thing that brings you like even if it stresses you out, like it's a stress that you're in control of. Like you're seeking it out, it's giving you like a rush and it's contained in that space.
Mhm.
So like that can just be better than your own life spiraling out of control. And I see some people in chat saying like, "Oh, well, it's world sales. It's not just the U.S. It's not just the U.S. that's sad either." By the way,
No,
like
we are the
I
center
hope
of the
y'all,
world, KC. Don't you
yeah,
get
I
it?
hope
Don't
y'all
you
are
get that
aware.
mixed up? When I go to Europe, all I hear about is U.S. news, so I don't know what you're talking about. All
But no,
right.
but like the main thing, like we said, is the stuff that's coming out is of quality, and that's always gonna get attention.
Quality,
Like if
but
someone can't
also
buy it
called
right
friend
now,
slap.
they'll buy it later.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I think part of it too is just like a lot of games are leaning into comedy. I think the friend slap games especially like anytime I open up Instagram, I'm seeing, comedic clips from, the horror, the horror co-op games and the horror, the, Peak and RV there yet. I keep saying like just funny clips. Like people just, I think, just want experiences that bring them legitimate joy and not just I'm enjoying this, but like legitimately a good time. And I don't like. I think people are willing to look past, faults in development as long as it's fun. And that's not like that's not like a light bulb turning on over my head. I think that's like a super obvious thing. But we're just seeing games break through. I think a lot more because of that.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Cool. Going back to the Patreon for a moment. Clis Taurus says they've been playing Ball X Pit lately. That's a fitting name for that. Have had a blast of it. Also started that Duck Off game. I feel it's more my speed extraction wise, offline and goofy. In this genre, did any of the second win team give Sulfur a try? Roguelite FPS with a kind of extraction-y vibe. I know Sulfur's in our library. I have not played it yet. And Escape from Duck Off is actually a game I should have put on that list because I think it also sold over 1 million copies already.
Yeah, that I had been hearing a lot about, and it's just kind of a parody version of Tarkov, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's you are a duck and you are basically playing Escape from Tarkov, but as a duck in a single player world. So there's no PvP multiplayer.
Oh.
It's single player. Yep. And it's actually apparently a really good game. Like it's not, not just like throwing together asset flip or anything like that.
Okay. Cool.
No, I've seen a lot of people really, really enjoying it. Actually, I want to try it. Just haven't had time.
Damn. Yeah. So yeah, just firing from all directions, just quality game experiences.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, for the remainder of the show, just gonna run through a couple quick hit news stories. We won't discuss them too much, but I figured audience would be fun to or would like to hear about them, and then we'll wrap up with what Casey and I have been playing. The first one I wanted to start with is one that I'm personally really excited about. Pillars of Eternity, the original Pillars of Eternity. Eric tried to mess up my notes in here. The original Pillars of Eternity has gotten a turn-based combat mode. It was originally a real-time pause CRPG, and now Obsidian has released the turn-based mode, which I'm very excited about. I want to play it. I really like the world of Pillars of Eternity, but I did not like the real-time pause combat. And it's also really cool that Obsidian just went back and did this for a game that's really old now.
Huh. Yeah, aren't there like sequels to this already?
Pillars of Eternity 2, Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire, which I think launched with turn-based. And then obviously Avowed is part of this world as well.
Oh, I guess I do remember hearing that. That seems not that significant, but okay.
No, probably not. Probably wouldn't know much about it. On the maybe not so good news front, Game Awards is not doing its future class program again, so I didn't really have much to discuss on this. But it's something that started last year where every year for the Game Awards they were announcing like a future class and highlighting kind of like the future of the industry, giving people their props that are up and coming and all that and doing good stuff. Last year they didn't do it. And this year it sounds like they're not doing it either, and the people involved aren't super happy about it because like it turns out it was kind of pretty performative and didn't really provide them with much of any benefits. So it's unfortunate to hear because I do think like the industry, both on the development side and the media side, has a really big problem with not highlighting upcoming talent in a way that they should and mentoring and everything. I would like to see more of that.
Yeah, I guess it depends on like what the purpose of this award is, because it's strange to hear that folks.
Well, it wasn't an award. It wasn't an award. It was
a
being brought in to. It was like 30 something people were announced every year that were brought into this future class, and they were supposed to, I think, be offered like mentorship through people that are from the previous future classes and all that kind of stuff, kind of building out a community of upcoming talent that would
Oh,
build together. And it just kind of never, I guess they just never paid much attention to it.
I'd be interested to learn more about why this didn't work. Because
Mhm.
I have to imagine, is this on the Game Awards or is it on those future class members? Because if they're the ones who are supposed to be doing the mentoring, and then the people getting mentored say, "Oh, nothing really came of it," is like whose fault is that? Or what
Yeah,
was the expectation that was
that's
set up for them? Like I don't know. I feel like there's some questions that need answering before we can really point the finger at like why this seemingly fell apart or why it wasn't working in the first place.
mhm.
So
Yeah, I'm
I'd
not
just be curious about what that story is.
yeah, I'm not placing blame anywhere here just because I don't know enough. But
Right, yeah.
like I said, in general, I just like to see the industry do a better job of that. Because like I know that the games media industry when I was coming in, like I got I wouldn't say lucky, but I will say I got lucky meeting Damien and Lachlan, who have worked with me now for as long as I've been doing this, and they both happen to be English teachers who really helped me hone my writing and learn. Even though like none of us knew what we were doing on the games and media side of things, we kind of figured that out as we went. But without them as mentors, who knows where I would have ended up. And that was a big part of the reason, like with the escapists, that I was trying to bring in, people like you and Jesse and all that, bring in new talent and pair you up with Yahtzee and Jack and all that, so you guys can, work and learn together. Unfortunately, so much of like institutional knowledge in the games media space and the game development space, because AAA has been fucking ripped apart. Like, just a lot of the institutional knowledge isn't there anymore. It's like, who do you go to learn from?
Yeah.
Tough out there. So I don't know. Somebody with some money should get something to go together.
What is this frighteningly young picture of Nick that Eric just put up on the thing? Is that Nick or is that someone else?
That is me. That is a very skinny me from like.
What are you, like 18?
Yeah, I think that was my freshman or sophomore year of college.
Oh my God.
No, almost no beard. Ugh. Get that out of here. Get that away from me. Other story that's still developing. We don't have a lot to talk about it yet because it's literally developing as we speak. But Rockstar has fired, it sounds like 30 to 40 people, 30 people. Get out of here. Quit showing my Facebook shit. 30 to 40 people from their studio for apparently sharing leaks with outside sources.
That's what they're claiming. Yeah.
That's what they're claiming, and the other side is claiming that it was a union busting effort because all of these people were involved in a union trade chat. So I guess we'll see how that develops. And of course, then Rockstar delayed the game today. So there's a lot of news going on at Rockstar, and I think I was reading that there were protests happening at the studio because of those firings from their own employees. So it's going to be an interesting story to revisit next week when Marty's back and see what happens here.
Yeah, there's no way these events aren't connected in my brain. Like, they might not be connected, but the way all that kind of came out at once, there's no way that these are isolated from each other. So yeah, I'm definitely keen to hear more. But let's be real. Like, this does sound like what a big company would do. Like, it sounds kind of very on brand for a large company, video game or otherwise.
Yeah, I'm worried. I'm hoping it's not another Rockstar's crunching the shit out of their entire team to get GTA 6 done. I mean, that's what. Well, Jason Schreier did the whole investigative reporting years ago, and he came back later and said they were cleaning up their acts. So I'm hoping like GTA 6 didn't set the clock back for them. And
like, I don't like, that seems unlikely, especially with them even at this point announcing another delay. Like, they're giving them even more time, so it does seem unlikely that this is crunch related. But it does seem like, okay, you fix one problem, which is crunch, but then, so of course your employees are going to go, all right, well, let's fix all the rest of the problems. Let's unionize because Right, and then the company's like, "Oh no, you can't have everything you want." And
Yeah.
that's how I see this sort of thing like escalating. But like, you're absolutely right. Like, yeah, this is developing. Um, I don't know if we'll ever get like the actual truth, because like a lot of what makes this so complicated to suss out is that game companies have employees sign NDAs, and so
Yep.
they can use that NDA to claim, "Oh, the firing was because of sharing information," when it may not have been. But and like, it's just hard to discern what the truth of it is based on just these safeguards
And
that the company will put in place.
yep. And Rockstar is notoriously secretive, almost as secretive as the CIA when they're not, or the FBI when they're not leaking things on Signal. So.
And I'll just say one thing that does make that claim seem like BS is like where's the leaked information? Like, they've had a huge leak before, and it
Well,
was all over the
they
internet.
tied it to like leaking stuff to their union leaders, whatever that means. Their development secrets, their work culture. I don't know.
Gotcha.
It could be
Okay.
anything, right? Like I don't think it was leaking like the delay or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of other bad industry things, so Square Enix this week said it wants generative AI to be doing 70% of its QA and debugging by the end of 2027. That news story, I think, came out 2 days ago.
Mm.
And then today, they announced a bunch of layoffs at their US and European studios. And I believe it was like over 100 people were let go 2 days after making an announcement about AI. Does not look good.
Yeah, pretty wild set of events. Do we know the people that were laid off? Do we know if they were part of like the QA teams? Because that's where they said that this 70% of AI was going to be focused on.
They said it affected pretty much like everybody in some way. So I don't think anybody really knows yet.
Uh,
I did see some.
Sorry, I just lost
Yes.
power. I had 2 or 3 minutes of power before I hit offline.
Yeah, Eric looks like he lost some power, so we may
I
have to
have
do
a strong storm outside. Sorry.
Yeah, it looks like there's a storm in Eric's location, so we may go off and pop back in a little bit. So give us a second, y'all.
Eric, are you going on your backup power? Or?
I am on my backup power, but it's just 2 or 3 minutes. I don't have much time.
Oh, it's only 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Eric's going into the shadow zone. You might be going with him. Start streaming. Let's see if we come back. Are we back? I see something loading. Okay. With our crazy looking overlay. Let me reload my YouTube. Okay, check and see us, check and hear us. Let me raise Casey's volume. Sorry, Eric had to run because his internet died because he's got a powerful storm hitting. So enjoy the rest of the stream without gameplay footage. What should we put for Marty's face? Let's just put. Let's just do this. Well, I think I found something I like a little bit more, so I'm just gonna use that. Let me finish putting this. You are silent because I haven't changed the audio thing yet. I will get there. I'm literally having to build this on the fly. There you are. Now people should be able to hear you.
Hello, my voice has returned.
Cool. And I'm just gonna finish adding Marty in. And
Marty's also silent, says Angel Nickel.
That's okay. And there's Marty. All right. Well, welcome back, everybody. No, I did not retire from streaming because I don't like setting it up, but I was not prepared at all to set up a podcast, so that's the fun part about that.
Yeah, so surprise podcast setup.
Surprise podcast setup. So we were wrapping up the Square Enix.
For your birthday.
Casey's a little quiet. You're a liar. You are a liar. I will raise you on my end. Don't do anything on your end.
All right.
There you go. Okay.
doing nothing.
Yes. Okay, so we were wrapping up the Square Enix discussion. All bad. They
Mhm.
fired people from layoffs because they're doing AI shit. There you go. Wrapped up that story. What have you been playing, Casey?
Did we want to zoom past that? I feel like we were like right in the middle of it.
I did. You know what? It's 7:00 now. I want to get this podcast wrapped up. I don't even know if we're recording anymore. I don't know what's going on.
We are recording. Eric set the fail safes. He knows what he's doing. The podcast is recorded. It's fine. We can get to what we're playing and watching. Well, we've both been playing Ninja Gaiden 4, right?
We both have been playing Ninja Gaiden 4.
How far have you gotten?
I just beat the second like god. The guy
Is
that
what we were fighting in those?
the guy that flies around or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I might not have gotten that far.
I'm like on chapter like 8, I think, or 9.
Yeah, I had a slow start because like an idiot, I
Oh yeah, you said you were playing on hard mode. Yeah.
Yeah, I selected hard at the start of Ninja Gaiden for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was kicking my ass. But it definitely gave me a full appreciation of the combat system that they're messing with there, because it can feel a bit spammy.
Mm-hmm.
But the like what hard does is it basically makes it so you take a lot more damage. So you really can't make very many mistakes, which means you have to be aware of what the enemies are doing. You have to be aware of what's effective on those enemies. So you need to now be aware of what your light attacks are used for, what your heavy attacks are used for, which are finishers essentially. Like light attacks pile on a bunch of damage, heavy attacks finish off enemies, and that gives you invulnerability. So like other stuff can't attack you at the same time. If you're lucky, it'll even give you some little health orbs back.
Mm-hmm.
And then like that Blood Raven form, which is kind of like your modifier for your light and heavy attacks, those break shields, and those give you like specific area of effect moves. So like if you're surrounded, then you can use those to like cut through a bunch of dudes who are surrounding you. So like all of your kit becomes much more situational on hard mode. Like you have to use it the way it's meant to be used in order to survive. And like I really liked learning that. Like it was grueling, but I really liked learning that. But eventually, because of how difficult the bosses can be, like just bang your head against it. I finished the boss fight. I was like, all right, let me switch back to normal. And like it's smoother sailing, but I think I kind of miss it. Is something wrong with me?
You like the pain, Casey.
I might be broken.
You just like being hurt. Yeah, no, I really
I might be broken.
Yeah, I've tried the Ninja Gaiden series a few times. We were talking about this yesterday on your Dark Side stream. Like I tried going back to the original game. I just can't fiddle with the camera enough on that game. It drives me nuts. I was playing quite a bit the Ninja Gaiden 2 remake or remaster, whatever it is. I did enjoy that. And I think Ninja Gaiden 3, the original Ninja Gaiden 3, I know I got a review copy of that and I hated it. And everybody hated it.
Yeah, I remember
that
was really bad.
Yeah. And then they fixed it. They fixed it over time, but I never went back. So Ninja Gaiden 4 is like finally the first game in the series that I'm really digging. I think I really like the combat is I really like it a lot. The Platinum Games just like has such a good feel to hitting things in their games. And this game really nails that. And yeah, even on normal, it's not a cakewalk. But
yeah,
once
it's
you
not like
once you kind of understand how to use the like that second form you take and kind of break their stance in a way, like that's when the combat really clicks for you. And it becomes a lot less button mashing, a lot more, timing,
because it can feel
based.
Like you're just your character will do a bunch of cool shit. You just mash a bunch of buttons.
Yeah.
And it will take you a relative distance in there, but then they will start putting up roadblocks because that's what Ninja Gaiden does. And then you have to learn specifically how to get through those encounters. And if you stumbled across any of like those challenge encounters that are like in like side areas or whatnot, those will kick your ass in new ways. Like there was one I found with like just a bunch of the jetpack guys who just shoot you with regular bullets. So like it doesn't seem that crazy, except there's like 10, 12 of them up there and all shooting at the same time. Like it just melts your health bar So you need to have the moves that allow you to kind of bounce from character to character. And I think when I found that, I might not have had that yet.
Mhm.
So like that was just painful. But like it's still in the back of my head. I want to go back. Like I want to go back to that encounter once I get the chance and take them on with like a. So when I do reach the end of this, I might just go back through on hard.
Fair.
Like it's that satisfying to get through the encounters. The story is terrible, by the way.
Yeah,
Like,
the
let's just throw
story.
that out there.
I have no
Like
investment in
the
the
main
story.
character, the main character is so bad. He has no personality whatsoever.
He's another grunty, another grunty like
What's funny
silent
is-
type.
But that they do that for the main character Joe Musashi in Shinobi Art of Vengeance, this 2D side scroller, and that one's funny for some reason. Maybe because they're consistent with it. Like Joe Musashi never says anything.
Yeah,
Everything he says is a grunt.
This guy, the main character for Ninja Gaiden 4 is like such a like early 2000s main character where he's just an asshole all the time.
Yeah, super emo, edgy.
Yeah.
He's Sasuke. If you watch Naruto back in the 2000s, he is Sasuke. And that's it. They just thought that was cool and they made Sasuke in the game.
Yeah. I really dig the game. I'm not huge on the story either. I also wish the environments were a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, they're kind of forgettable.
Yeah, the city
there are like big set pieces.
There are big set pieces, but you get through like once you get to the third like the third area I think you'll get to is like this kind of like underground sewer like water area. There's some really cool segments in there. Like it's not a spoiler to tell you, like you've seen it in the trailers, the like the disco rooms or whatever they're doing. Like those are fun. But yeah, it's just I don't know, it's not the best looking game. It really does feel like it's a game not out of this generation. I love it for that, and I also kind of am a little bit disappointed by it.
You feel like it's not the best looking, like just like art style wise?
Yeah, just
like environmental wise, or
yeah.
I guess that's fair. Yeah, because a lot of the early stages are very like dark and gray, like bluish gray, and like it stays that way for a while.
Yeah.
But it is a linear action game, and those are back in vogue. But I do wonder how many of these we're gonna get before folks start to get tired of them. I'm not tired yet. I am enjoying them.
If as long as we like keep a rotation of Souls-like action, Souls-like spectacle action, Souls-like
it just bounces back and forth.
Yeah, maybe, like you know, or release like 3 Souls-likes because I like those more right now, and then a spectacle action game, and then release 3 more Souls-like. I'll be happy about it. But no, I mean like there's like a lot of cool looking indie ones in development too that are spectacle fighters. I can't remember the names off the top of my head without pulling them up, and I don't want to mess up the stream right now. But there's quite a few that I'm keeping an eye on in that realm that I'll make a list for at some point. Maybe I'll make a wish list of upcoming spectacle fighters you should keep an eye on.
Oh yeah, if there's that many, then why not?
Cool.
Yeah, outside of Ninja Gaiden, I've also put a little time into Ball X Pit, however you want to say it.
Ball Pit. More balls.
Everyone loves balls. Really, really fun loop. Like every section of every piece of gameplay feeds into the other. They're bite size in like what it is you're looking to get out of them, and like the feedback loop of, well, I just need a little bit more of this in order to get that. Therefore, I need to do this. So once I've done this, that gives me this, but then allows me to do that. Like it's like a really tight circle, but all parts of it are like strangely satisfying. And I just really like the ricochet mechanic just kind of being core to all of it as well. Like it's not super involved and engaging, but it triggers something in the brain that makes you feel like you're doing a lot more than you are.
Yes, the developers like almost pretty much said that verbatim. Like you think you're just getting better, but you're not.
Yeah, like it's very similar to all the Survivor likes, where like random things happen to you and then your character just starts exploding, and that's the game, and it's just the juice, like that kinetic juice for the most part.
Yeah,
Like,
I wouldn't,
I
say, I
wouldn't say
wouldn't
this is
say,
more
I wouldn't say
involved-
it's random.
this is
I
a
think
little more involved
this
than
is
those.
heavily. Yeah, there's a lot of strategy in this.
but probably not as much as
Gotta-
you would,
you-
as you think.
You're not thinking
Like
about how you use
I
your
won't go
balls
so
enough.
far. Well, no, sure.
Then.
I don't want to go as far as to say that this game plays itself like some
Yeah.
of the other ones
Yeah.
do. Like I definitely don't think that about this. But like I like my video games in like I want to be in control. Like that's my preference. So usually I want nothing to do with survivor likes. But this one does scratch an itch. So that's what I'm getting at. It's like it is that where there's a lot that is kind of happening to you, but there's enough that you are in control of that I do get the satisfaction from seeing it all pop off.
You know, I'm writing a video essay about Bollocks Pit right now, and my title
Uh-huh.
was going to be Bollocks Pit has the perfect gameplay loop. But now you gave me a new title idea. Bollocks Pit scratches that itch.
Wow. Wow. Oh, you're welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah, I am welcome. Yeah. No, that's
But yeah,
been
I am
my,
having a good time with it.
that's been my game that I fall asleep to every night right now. Like
Mm.
the loop is really addicting. Everything you do ties back to unlocking new things in the game. You're constantly upgrading your buildings. Even upgrading your buildings in the game like is tied to gameplay mechanics, like shooting your balls at the buildings and all that.
Mhm.
So yeah, and it takes a while to unlock this stuff too. So like it feels rewarding. It's not just constantly giving you new stuff. You do have to like kind of fight for it a little bit.
Yeah, and like the more time you spend in it, then like those things will come. So like the sense of progress is just readily available to you, and like it's a satisfying loop that does keep you hooked.
Yeah. Speaking of roguelites, I see you also put Absalom in your list finally.
Yes, I finally put time in that. The reason being like we are working on a thing and I needed to get some footage. So I was like, oh, I'll just get like 10, 20 minutes of footage. Spent 2 hours. Spent a full 2 hours just playing it
yeah.
because it's a really good beat 'em up, first and
Mhm.
foremost. And like that's the thing we've been saying about roguelikes in general. Like because folks get tired of roguelikes, but like it's not the roguelike part, it's the game part being lazy and relying too much on the randomization of the loop. If you make the core game fun, which Absalom absolutely built a fun and fast and fluid beat 'em up, side scroll like classic side scrolling beat 'em up. The fact that you get to get a character with different abilities on each run and that the run changes and like the characters give you different information, like all that is just extra on top. So like that's what feeds me wanting to go back in because I want to get further to see like what comes next and I want to see how strong my characters can get because all of them have been fun. Like the three, I've
Yeah.
unlocked 3 different of the guys so far, and I think I'm really close to the 4th one. And like as soon as there was one that I figured would be my favorite, but as soon as I tried the second one, I was like, oh, this one might be my favorite. And then I got the new one, I was like, oh, this one is my favorite.
Yeah.
So like all of them are just very well designed and like really fun. Like and I would love to like do a co-op with this and like a group just to like see all the chaos on screen because like that's kind of the joy of like the classic beat 'em up style.
Yeah, and music, art, like it just feels
Mhm.
like a really cohesive, really good game. It's another one that I just keep going back for more and more runs. Haven't been able to put my full attention on it lately as much as I want to, but yeah.
Yeah,
in
there's just
the-
a
in
million
the-
other things.
Yep. Anything
Um,
else that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I'll just say real quick. I did finally watch Weapons because that came to streaming.
I have my 4K copy on the shelf in the packaging. I haven't got a chance to watch it yet.
So you haven't watched it though? Okay, yeah, because
No.
people are saying it's one of the best movies of the year.
Uh-oh. You
I don't
started it
know-
with saying people
I don't know
saying.
Yeah, because I don't know if it's because people were saying that. Like that's why I wanted to watch it. Usually, I don't gravitate to the horror things.
Mhm.
I thought the movie was okay. But I did not like its reveal.
Uh-oh. Darren's gonna come in here and slap you.
To be honest, I love Darren's stuff. We kind of differ pretty regularly in terms of like.
Oh yeah, him and I differ
movie
plenty
opinions.
on
Yeah.
movie opinions. I like slap, he does not.
I did agree with his Superman take though. I think that movie was also bad.
Ooh. Man,
but no, like weapons.
You're only saying this because Marty isn't here.
Did Marty really like Superman? I didn't know.
I think so.
I can see why it's popular and that it does a lot of really cool things with the way it's telling its story and with the way it's shot and like the look and like the performances. But like the core of any movie to me is the story. And when you get to like the premise is incredibly engaging, but when you get to the reveal of like what's happening, I was completely checked out. And then after that, I started questioning everything that they told me beforehand. So I was like, I didn't like any of this. And that maybe it's just a me thing. But yeah.
Yeah, there was
Sorry.
a horror movie, The Barbarian. Darren, I know, loved that movie, I think.
Yeah, I think same director.
That, you know what, that checks out. But, 'cause I like a lot of that movie. I also don't like the reveal in that movie. So
Sure, okay.
Weapons might disappoint me. Well, I'll watch it anyway.
I mean, there's cool stuff in it. Like it's definitely worth the watch. Like I wouldn't say I wouldn't have watched it. I'm glad I watched it, but I wouldn't frame it as one of the best movies of the year. And that's just me.
Angel Nikki in chat says, KC, oh no, your taste will be questioned going forward. Welcome to my world, KC, where everybody's like, Nick likes bad games. It's like, no, I just like playing a lot of different games. But yeah, I also like bad games. I responded to somebody on YouTube about that. I was like, you know what? I have to like bad games because then I can appreciate the good games even more. And you can't argue with that.
Everybody likes bad games. Yeah. Everybody likes bad games. If gaming is a hobby of yours, you have played a bad game that you like or love.
No, not Yahtzee. He only likes the good stuff.
No, Yahtzee will admit he likes one or two. Or
he plays YouTube games. He has no leg to stand on. His leg, he may be very tall, but he's playing YouTube games. So you know what? He's on.
Well, there you go. I've never played any of those. So I don't know if they're good or bad. I don't know if they're good or bad. I gotta say.
Whenever he plays a YouTube game, he drops down to my level. And also, I need to.
Have you been? No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I have to issue a very important correction in chat to King Dead 42, who says Darren doesn't like Moonfall. Nick loves it. I fucking hated that movie. Go away. Quit putting lies out into the world. I bought the movie because I'm stupid. I didn't like it.
There's a distinct difference there.
Yeah, Jack is the one that likes Moonfall. Yeah, Jack likes weird movies. The movie would have been a lot better if it was just the moon from Zelda crashing into the planet. That would have been funny as fuck.
I mean, but then you can just play Majora's Mask.
Yeah, but like
you don't have to watch.
But
Moonfall.
Make it like a science fiction movie with a moon with a face crashing into the planet and just laughing all the way down. Like, great. This was just too realistic, and of course they had to kill the stepfather because that director kills every stepfather because I think he hates stepfathers.
Maybe he had a bad stepfather.
But yeah, I think so. Before we get to my stuff, Captain President donated $10. Bollocks Pit says Bollocks Pit pairs well with Clay Obscure original soundtrack, free on YouTube. Might need to do that. And Captain President.
Yeah, I don't know if I played that game with the sound on. Now I'm thinking about it.
You don't play Bollocks Pit with the sound on?
I don't think I played it with the sound on.
Oh my god, I'm gonna start questioning your taste
because I was like, I was playing it on my streaming service, xCloud, in bed with this thing. Like this thing clips onto my phone.
Yeah.
And I was streaming it to my phone. So
your
I was trying not to be loud.
You got a pair of headphones on your head right now. What are you doing?
I was in bed.
You have headphones. That's what they're for.
I'm not wearing headphones in my bed. That's weird. Who does that?
What? What are you talking about? What the fuck?
I literally just bought a sleep headband that is Bluetooth headphones, so I don't know what I'm saying.
Fuck off. Captain President donated another $10. Says, who would win in a fight, Dante or Ryu Hayabusa?
That's actually a really good fight. Oh shit.
Let's go ask Rock.
I don't know, cause like yeah, because that's Ryu's whole job, right? He fights demons, and Dante is half a demon. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if his sword does anything special to demons. So
I
like
mean,
maybe that would give him an edge. But
yeah, I mean Dante uses guns too, so
guns don't mean anything to the high
He just
ninjas. Like yeah, like they block bullets automatically. They don't give a shit about bullets.
Jomo Slomo 3263 donated 20 knock. It says Squeenix really dodged a bullet by sabotaging Eric. yeah, they got out of our roasting by taking out Eric's internet. We don't need to. I don't think we need to roast them too much. They can do that themselves. King Dead 42 donated $2.
Yeah, there'll be more bad stories from them, I'm sure.
King Dead 42 donated $2 to say, I don't have bad taste. I'm just stupid. Nuck. He didn't spell my name right. He just spelled Nuck. So I don't know who Nuck is. King Dead 42. I guess you're gonna have to donate $2 to correct yourself. Jerk.
I don't know why that makes me laugh. That's really funny.
Nuck is a kind of funny name. Nuck the cook.
Okay, we didn't need that last part. That was a little bit of projection.
No, I'm not Nuck. I'm Nick. Yeah, as far as what I've been playing, I'm still latched on to Battlefield 6. I've just really been loving it. I think I said in the podcast, when's the last time we podcast? When I was in Milwaukee? I don't remember what I talked about there. I don't know if I talked about.
Yeah,
I don't know if I talked about Battlefield 6 while I was there. I think I did. But essentially, it's just really nice to have like a really polished Battlefield game from EA and like have it work at launch and have it be supported right away. And I mean, just not a whole lot to complain about that game. Like I have some issues with the maps. I think I've talked about that before too. Like they need to, like the community at large is asking for larger maps because a lot of their maps are pretty small and condensed, which has been a kind of a Battlefield problem for a while now. So people really want like
trying to avoid people running too far for fights, maybe.
Yeah, but like that's what you have vehicles for, and like transportation and all that, so that there's teamwork involved. And part of the problem with like the maps being so small is that like it's hard to like points almost trade too often, so there's not a lot of strategy involved besides running from point to point to point to point. There should be some time to set up and defend and fight back, and kind of like the tug of war that needs to happen, which is why like people really like the escalation mode a lot, because like I'm assuming you play Battlefield a lot.
Not
a lot.
Recent ones.
Yeah. Well, but you know what Conquest is, where it's basically
where like everyone's like pushing to take the points on the front, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, large scale. It's basically like large scale domination, in Call of Duty or whatever. But like escalation is cool because you fight over the control points, and when you start controlling more points than the other team, you're like increasing a bar, and if the first team that reached the bar or like reach the end of the bar, they score a point, and then after that, the mode removes a couple of the points, so the battle keeps getting smaller and more condensed as you go. And so at the end of at the end of the escalation mode, like you're fighting over like 3 different points, and you have to control two to score points and raise the bar to score that final point to win. And so like on some of the maps, it's like just straight up chaos when you're fighting over like that final point. I love it. That's when Battlefield's at its best, when it's just pure fucking chaos. I can't get enough of that.
Nice. The destruction and stuff is still on point.
Like, the destruction is like
the
destruction is like way better than it's been in any of the other Battlefields. Like I adore it. Like you straight up just drive a tank through a building and it just falls apart on you. And it's great.
Damn. Strong tank.
Yeah. Well, it's very funny.
Did they fix the jets? The jets used to be impossible to fly. Like they make them super hard to fly, and I just always wanted to just be in a jet and fly.
I mean,
are they still like confusing?
They're not easy to fly, but I mean, I can do it, and if I can do it, and King Dead 42 says I'm stupid, then I can, I think you can do it. Yeah, no, it's you know what, I've learned to fly helicopters. It had been a while since there had been helicopters in Battlefield. I mean, I guess they were in
Uh-huh.
2042. I just didn't play a ton of it. I definitely went through the learning curve of flying helicopters again, like you do in every Battlefield game, and getting a transport helicopter, filling it up with a bunch of people. They're relying on you to get them to the battlefield, and you immediately flip the helicopter over and blow up and die with everybody inside.
Classic Battlefield.
Yeah. So it's been very funny watching my friends try to learn to fly helicopters with whole groups of people and just watch them immediately crash into a building and everybody starts screaming at them in chat. And I love it.
I mean, that's just part of the experience.
Yep. And then as soon as you do that, somebody else will get into a helicopter in the other team and they just wipe out the entire team over and over and over again. And it's like, what are you doing? How did you learn to do this?
Skill
Are you a
difference.
real pilot? Yeah.
There's an actual helicopter pilot in Battlefield 6.
Yeah. It would not surprise me. But yeah, that's basically what I've been playing. Don't have much time to play anything else. I put a bunch of hours in Ninja Gaiden 4. I'm trying to make my way through Death Stranding 2 as well. I think I walk about a mile in that game and then put it down every time. So, I'll get there eventually. But
That's how it's played, I hear.
yeah, and then I did start Gen Z finally last night, the boys spinoff.
Mm-hmm.
Which I
Well, no, Gen V.
Gen V. I said Gen Z. Doi.
Yeah.
Gen V. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. Sorry. Sir George Lucas in the chat keeps reminding me to show off. I did end up picking up the Xbox ROG Ally.
Oh yeah, you were talking about this earlier.
The cheaper one. This is the cheaper one. I didn't splurge on the $1,000 one because I could not justify that.
Is the main difference between the two storage or
No, the main difference between the two is like this is basically an Xbox Series S and the other one is an Xbox Series X. Very much more powerful. I still need to get rid of my Legion Go, so if anybody in chat wants, I'll buy a Legion Go. I'm selling that thing. But the reason I wanted to go with this is specifically just because of the controls. It's like the form factor is like an Xbox controller. And my biggest
that's why I bought that 8-bit dough thingy for my phone, because it's just an Xbox controller.
yeah, my biggest issue with like handhelds that aren't Nintendo Switch is like I do not like playing first person games or like multiplayer games on the handhelds like my Legion Go, just because it doesn't feel right playing it without a controller, I guess. So the very first game I loaded up and played on this was Rematch, and that's I'm able to play it just like I can on the computer, and that's how I know this thing works, because I'm very sweaty at that game, and this game can handle my sweatiness, or this thing can handle my sweatiness.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like if you like this will be fine for playing basically anything that you're playing on your Steam Deck, like indie wise, I think. But I would not try to load up, Battlefield 6 on this thing and run it from the console itself. A game that I tested was like Metaphor Refantasio, which you don't think is like super performance heavy, but you can get a pretty steady 30 frames on it. But if you want to be comfortable playing it,
struggling.
I don't know. I haven't downloaded a ton of games on it to try yet. Like just because I haven't had it that long. I plan on testing like Ninja Gaiden 4 to see how that runs on this, and a few other games. But the main way I use this, so I'm not the best representative of it, probably, is I stream my games from my computer to it, so it works great for that.
So
you play.
you're using it the way the Steam Deck functions.
Well, I've talked about it on the podcast before that I use. It's called like Apollo and Moonlight, and so
Yeah, you have mentioned that.
yeah, so that's like the way I play games on these things at home, and as long as you're on a 5G connection, it's great. Like I have no issues aside from occasional hitch here or there, but I'm able to play games on these things at 1440 60 frames and as smooth as like playing on my computer on a handheld, and I love that for that. So yeah, I would definitely
Nice.
if you want a really powerful handheld and you travel a lot, like I'm sure the ROG Xbox Ally X, that's such a bad name, I hate it.
It's a bad name. It's a terrible name.
If you really want like the most powerful one of these devices, like go with that. And I'm sure you can look at YouTube videos from other channels and all that, and I know it runs most things pretty damn well. But this one's this one's 500.
500, and the other one is like a full $999, right?
Yeah, full $999. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like I said, I need to try more games running directly on it. If I wasn't working in the space, I don't know if I would have spent $500 on this.
Yeah, like I was tempted to mess with one of those, but like it doesn't make sense. Like I'm not going to use it very often, if at all.
Yeah,
and it's just way too expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I use my Legion Go a lot. Like I like to, I don't like to be in the office all the time, so I like to, go upstairs and lay in bed. Or you can also just, because I stream games in my house, I'm able to just dock it to my TVs, and I can play my computer games on any TV in the house, and so it's great. So yeah, Sergio Lucas says Nick a smart man, did buy a PS5 Pro as well. It was worth it for Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding 2, so I got my money's worth out of it. We'll see what else I get.
If that's what that means. For 2 games, money's worth?
Well, that's the space we work in.
To each their own. Someone had to do it.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to be me.
I could probably use my personal funds in better things like food. Tamir's OZ87 donated $2 says, did we talk about the latest Mind's Eye changes? I saw what they did. They released a trailer that apparently has lyrics basically begging people to play the game.
I can't imagine there's anything they could do that would change what that game is.
They added some stuff in like the sandbox mode that you can do, but I like it. If you go watch the trailer, like it is the most. It's just so generic looking. Like there's nothing I want. I want nothing to do with that game, to be honest.
Yeah, and the way they were talking it up from the beginning, it was the same. Like they were talking it up like it was a big deal, but everything they showed was generic. So it makes me feel like the ones in charge of that game don't understand what makes compelling gameplay. So of course they're going to say, "Oh, we fixed it," or "We made it. We added this. We added that," and it's still going to be not great.
Yep. Sometimes the fact that they're still trying to sink money into it tells me all I need to know. So, yeah, maybe if something is really, really bad, don't buy it, like Moonfall or Jurassic World Dominion or Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. All right, but that's gonna.
There's your advice. Do as he says, not as he does.
I did not buy Mind's Eye, so you know what? When it comes to video games, I don't buy good video games. I just get review copies of them. Cool. All right, well, that's gonna wrap up Firelink today. Marty's not here, so we can't do our usual real spruced up intro or outro. So I hope everybody enjoys listening to my shamble of it. Casey, what do you have coming up that people can look forward to?
It's the end of the week, so tomorrow I'll probably be streaming something in the evening. Marty's away, but I'll probably still start at my regular time, which is just after usually he gets which is just before he gets off of his Friday streams. So join me for that. If Kia's not with me, if Kia's with me, we might actually just start Dispatch because I think she'll probably be into that as much as I want to be into that. But if she's not, then I'll probably continue playing through Ninja Gaiden.
Cool.
And then Super Smash Sunday should be back on Sunday as well, both on the Second Wind channel at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, and then on my channel on Twitch, Sigma Gears 9 at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. That's it for me. How about you, Nick?
Great. My Unpacked went out on Monday on the whole Halo Ice thing. Boy, Eric and I believe, have PTSD from moderating in the comments on that. But I think we cleaned it up very well. I think we got most of them out of there. So good stuff. I was going to have an Unpack tomorrow, but we're going to push it back to next Friday. So instead, Eric helped edit a essay of mine on Hell Is Us. So you can check that out tomorrow at the usual unpack time instead. And then Marty and I and KC are working on a little test pilot for something that I'll be releasing to Patreon backers tomorrow. So you'll be able to give us feedback on something new that we're working on. So be sure to give that a look. And if you like indie games, I think you will dig it. Other than that, make sure you set November 15th on your calendar, because that is our 2-year anniversary. And we'll be doing our usual stream marathon session with, I'm sure Dokapon will be there, along with a bunch of random other games that I need to see what we voted on as a team to see what we're playing, and I'm scared of the results in that. So, and tonight is also the eve of us getting fired. So, I'm gonna go have a beer in celebration.
It ended up being a good thing, so yeah, why
It
not?
did end up
celebrate?
being a good thing. I'm gonna turn it into a good thing. Still a little salty about it. It's fine.
Just put some salt in your drink then.
Oh yeah,
Make
let me get a good ass margarita.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. The laboratory says Happy Fired Eve. Hell yeah. That's a holiday. I don't know if I want to remember, but it works. Thanks everybody for tuning in and watching. Thanks to all of our Patreon backers for sending in write-ins. Remember, at the $5 tier every week on Firelink, you have the chance to write in your questions, comments, concerns, or thoughts, or things you want us to talk about. And then you get all kinds of extra benefits, like exclusive videos, like JMate's Clear Obscure video that he just did for our exclusive video for last month's backers. This month you're going to get a couple different things. I'm not going to spoil them, but there's a couple weird things in there, if I recall. So we'll see how you like those. And then, yeah, I don't think there's anything else coming up. Yahtzee tries on Sunday. Streams tomorrow. I don't think we have any streams tomorrow, do we?
No. I don't think so.
Well, King Dead
King's
42.
Dead 42. Yeah.
Sending us
$2
out.
dono says happy Jusant anniversary.
We did end up finding out it was an okay game.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, Mirfty, yes, he said he wasn't doing the Sunday. Yeah, he had his schedule backwards. So there was no semi-emblematic today. There will be a semi-emblematic next week, and there's a Yahtzee Tries edited on Sunday that we'll also be talking about balls. So you get to look forward to that. So thanks, everybody, and we will see you back here next week at the same time for Firelink. Make sure to subscribe on audio platforms if you haven't already. We want to bump up the numbers over there so that we can start monetizing this thing. So if you already listened to it live, you can go listen to it again recorded and hear all of my terrible jokes
product
again.
is a better product, I'll say, because we don't have to stop in the middle. That all just get cut out.
Yeah, power doesn't die in the middle of the recorded one. So there you go. Enjoy the rest of your evenings. We'll see y'all later. Bye.
Bye.
Shit, I don't have the credits either because I wasn't set up. Wait, do I have the credits?